Hello everyone, welcome back to the Essential SQL series. Today we are going to learn about numeric functions. These numeric functions are used to perform numerical operations like count, sum, average, minimum, maximum, absolute, rounding off, floor and ceiling. Without discussing much, as you might all be aware of what these do, let's look at them in practice. So let's go to the SQLite Studio and look at one of the tables. Let's look at invoices today. And here in the data we can see there are customer related information. So for example, you might want to know how many customers are there in each billing country. So for that I can use a count function. Billing country count, count of again billing country, from invoices where my bad group by billing country. Now it is essential to use group by whenever you are using numeric functions, otherwise your output won't be correct or you might even get an error. The usage of group by is to perform aggregation at the country billing country level, and the count aggregation anyways will be happening in the function. So you can look at the output. Here you can see for each country what are the count of customers or invoices in this case. Now let's say you want to see sum, and you want to see for each billing country what is the total amount of bill. So I'll use something similar, but here I'm using sum instead of billing country and use total in place of billing country so that I can see for each billing country what is the sum of total. Now you can see the numbers are quite weird here. We will take a look at other functions how we can make it look better. For now let's look at average. So the same sum function I'll use, but instead of sum this time I'm going to use average to understand for each billing country what is the average amount of bill. And you can see in most of the countries the average bill amount is around $5 to $6. Similarly we will use minimum and maximum function. This time I'm going to use min and max together, so you can use multiple aggregations in the same query. So you can see in each country usually the minimum is about 0.99 1.98, and the maximum varies from 13.86 to about 25.86. Now comes absolute. So as you know, absolute is nothing but if you have a negative number, it is also converted to positive by dropping the minus symbol. So only for demonstration purposes again, what I will do is I'll simply say minimum minus maximum and use absolute function here, and you will see the output will all be positive only. If I'm not using absolute, you can see the outputs to have all minuses, so you can see only the minus sign is dropped with absolute. Now comes the round. As we saw with the total amounts, we had some weird numbers, so I'll use the same function. So let's better use with average, because in average you had all of them with multiple decimal places. So when I say use round function and I want to round everything to 2 decimal places, I'm using round with the value comma 2 for 2 decimal places, and I execute. You can see all the values are rounded up to 2 decimal places. Next are floor and ceiling functions. Floor is nothing but the values are usually rounded to the lower decimal or the lowest integer, and the ceiling rounds the value up to the higher integer. So for the same value, I will use floor and ceiling. So when I execute this, you can see 5.37 is rounded to 5 in floor and rounded to 6 in ceiling. Ideally, if you use the rounding to nearest integer, it would be 5. Similarly, in this case, if I do a round up to the nearest integer, it should ideally be 7. But with floor, it will directly go to 6, and with ceiling, it will go up to 7. So these are some basic mathematical functions that we use very frequently. So keep practicing, keep learning. That's it for the video. Thank you.